type of content I did not predict being popular in the year of 2025 and even prior is the content that is cleaning content, but in the reverse. So we all, I think, have seen by now very satisfying cleaning videos. I don't know if you guys have seen the ones of like really dirty rugs or carpets, and you just see someone basically pass over it with like a million chemicals. And then it goes back to its original form, which is usually crazy because the carpets are black and then it turns out it was a yellow carpet. Anyway, love all of that. That's the nice side of what we're talking about. The bad side of what we're talking about is, like I said, the reverse of cleaning content. Now, what is that? That is train wreck women who typically are mothers who live in houses that are so incredibly dirty that dirty does not cover it. Houses that you might think were abandoned or vandalized, just horrendous stuff. We're talking about feces in bedrooms. We're talking about piles of dishes that have accumulated over weeks. We're talking about potentially dead birds. So we're not talking about a house that's a little bit messy. We're talking about really severe cases. Now, when we talk about these things, I think it's important to come from a point of realistic empathy, let's call it that way, in the sense of I can understand that something is going on mentally or that you maybe just don't have time or both. And so I completely understand those things. However, at the same time, it can also be true that when you let things go to that point and you have children, you really do need to, and this sounds harsh, but snap out of it to a degree, at least for your children and their safety and health when it gets to that point. Dead bird feces type point. Right? We're not talking about a chair with a pile of clothes on it. We're talking about the most extreme stuff that would have CPS take your kids from you. Now, the person we're talking about is Amanda MCG. If you don't know who this content creator is, neither did I until a couple days ago, and then this content really started popping up on my For You page. Now, Amanda MCG, to me, is a variant, basically, of Alexandra Sabel, right? I think they are pretty similar in a lot of ways. Now, granted, I haven't been following them for years, but upon a cursory glance, you'll be able to see that there are a lot of similarities between Amanda MCG and the Donut Mom. So it seems that just recently, Amanda MCG's account was permanently banned. I'm not exactly sure what the reason for that was, but clearly she had a significant following. She now has a backup account that has around 65,000 followers as of when I'm filming this. Now, Amanda MCG's house, if you see any of the clips, and I'll show you some, don't worry, but her house, like I said, was absolutely just, when I say dirty, I mean that to the highest degree possible.
So let me get this straight. This is Amanda MCG like a year or two ago. And look at this fucking house. It's disgusting. Here she is with a friend and they were chugging drinks and dancing around in this nasty ass house. This is from something that she posted today. And she has been using her filthy ass house for content for literal years, and y'all eat that shit up every single time. Her entire kitchen is filled with clutter, dirt, grime, animal hair. And I don't know about y'all, but do your pets eat where you do your laundry? And what's even crazier is that she will do the bare minimum in her videos. Like, she never fully cleans and she never fully ever gets done with anything. Have y'all not noticed that? She barely did a load of laundry in her video and swept like 3 or 4 times, and that was it. And by the end of the video, her house looks the exact same. The clutter is insane, you guys. Y'all are more mad at me for speaking up than you are at the people that are actually putting their children through this.
Stacks of dishes are nothing. We're talking about even walls that are drawn on, walls that are super dirty. And you know it's bad when the walls specifically are just a mess and need to be not wiped down, but scrubbed. Considering that that was the dire situation, what happened? Well, this account that has 609,000 followers, Amy L., so it's at Boss Lady Cleaning Hacks, she offered to go and clean Amanda MCG's house. So what Amy did is that she gathered a team of cleaners. I think there were 4 or 5 of them in total, and they went to clean Amanda's house. Amanda's house took, I believe it was 3 days to clean. So we're talking about real intense cleaning if you have a crew of multiple people and it still takes 3 days. I'm going to show you some clips of the cleaning just so you get an idea of what they were dealing with.
All right, here's a 4-minute recap video of day 1 cleaning at Amanda MCG's house. Right off the bat, I am going to touch on a subject one time, and then it's going to never be spoken about again, at least here on my page. The cat's out of the bag. I am, in fact, a content creator. I have 500,000 followers that I make cleaning videos for. I am also a professional house cleaner who donates my time, energy, expertise to help people like Amanda MCG, who are in this type of situation, travel across the U.S. to help clean when people need me. 2 things can be true at the same time. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but just because this cleaning is free for Amanda does not mean it is free for everyone else involved. So for the few people who are making the videos bagging on the fact that I'm a content creator and I'm only doing this for content and clout, you have a lot of burners because you will be blocked. Now, if you missed the lives from today, day 1 cleaning Amanda MCG's house, this is a video from my perspective of everything that we were able to get done today, along with the amazing team who traveled all the way over here to Central California to help as well. And I don't give a damn what anyone else has said. I am extremely proud and honored to have worked beside my team today because we kicked ass. Although we had our cameras going live and we were recording a ton of content, you guys did not see everything that was being done. And the exact reason why we were all filming on top of doing a live is so that we can do this. We can show you the details later on and use this content to teach others how to get out of this situation. We are here to educate, to motivate, and to encourage. This is called cleaning with compassion for a reason. I got quite a few amazing emails today from people who watched our live. I'm going to tell you right now, these are the emails. These are the reasons why I do what I do. Multiple people who were in either hoarding situations or in need of a restoration clean, they reached out to me, and not only did they ask me for help, but they asked me for advice just in case I could not personally come to them. When I film a client and their home, like Amanda, it is going to be vulnerable. It is raw, it is emotional, and there's a lot that goes into this, okay? It can be very, very hard for people to reach out for help, even though they desperately need it. But what I have seen over the years of doing these content videos is that people are more inclined because they feel safe to reach out to me. That is the goal. The goal is to help people. The goal is to tell people that you can trust me or you can trust other house cleaners because we're here to help. We are not there to judge. You know what I mean? Specific cleaning has been in the planning stages for about 2 months. We just completed day 1. Tomorrow is day 2. It's going to be all hands on deck. They're doing 3 things in this house here: decluttering, downsizing, and deep cleaning. That is my personal goal, and it's because I think that that is what's going to help Amanda the most. And we leave in just a few days. We will leave Amanda with a clean home, an organized home, and a happy home. It's not going to matter what anyone has ever said in the past because Amanda is going to be able to live towards the future. We'll be leaving her with organized chore lists, one for daily, one for weekly, one for monthly, and then one for quarterly as well. And those are going to be used as guides to help her stay on a system and a routine. And we are just going to wish her the best, and we're going to be here for her. We're going to support her because she can do this, and she has enough followers to support her as she goes through this journey. As Tamika says, cleaning is not linear. It's a process, and if you support her, it's going to help her. Thank you to the 2,000 people that were in my live today, and I want to welcome you back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Do something kind, and don't be...
I had the honor of cleaning the majority of Amanda's bathroom today, and we took it from a level 8 all the way down to a level 3. In order to get it any lower on my cleanliness scale, things would have to be replaced and painted. But that's just cosmetics. It's not sanitary issues. But I am really excited to tell you the sweetest thing that happened at her house. At the end of the day, when her mini-me's showed up, her son came up to me and he was like, "Hey, Amy." And we had met yesterday, so we have, we're already besties, right? He goes, "Do you have TikTok?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do. Why?" He's like, "Well, how many followers do you have?" Smart ass Amy replies with, "Well, I have 2 followers." He looks me dead in my eyes. He goes, "No, seriously, how many do you have?" I'm like, "All right, I have 500,000 followers." He flips out. He's like, "Are you serious?" He goes, "Okay, I have to ask you a question." And in mid-sentence, he stops and looks at his mom, almost as if to ask for permission. And I was like, "You can ask me whatever you want, buddy." So he goes, Can I get a picture with you?" I almost cried. It was the best moment of my life. And I, of course, took a picture with him. Duh. Anyways, if you guys want to know, I used Zepp's orange degreaser in this bathroom on pretty much everything. Except the shower, I used the Zepp purple degreaser. And then the second round of cleaning on the shower, I used their tub and tile shower cleaner as well. And I gotta say, I was very impressed. I did not think that it was going to come out as clean as it did. But still sometimes Zepp surprises me. I tell you guys this all the time. It's why I use their products. And although I don't have any footage of it, I do have to give a huge shout out because Miss Keeks cleaned that toilet area and she rocked it. You're gonna have to go over to her page and wait for her to upload that video because I already know it's gonna be a doozy. Were you guys in the live with me while I was in the bathroom? We had a lot of fun in there. This day is literally gonna stay with me for a long time. I enjoyed myself so much and we got a lot done. We have 2 bedrooms left for tomorrow. We have half of the kitchen left, the living room, the office, and the dining room, and some floor. Other than that, I'm gonna go play some pool, have a drink, and I hope you guys have a great night. Don't be an a-hole.
So Amy's project that she does to help people who have a house that's in a particularly dire state is called Cleaning with Compassion. So it includes cleaning these houses for free. Houses that require more than just a random little vacuum clean. Houses that really are in a state, as you saw in the videos shown, especially with the before and after. Now, most people would be incredibly grateful that someone would put a team together, basically self-fund. I mean, granted, you make money off of TikTok and their sponsorships, whatever, but still, they are spending money in order to be able to help you for free. So most people would be really grateful and appreciative of that because, again, like I said, this wasn't a little cleaning job. This was a job that took 3 days. It sounds like it was mentally draining, emotionally taxing. People are also giving you their time. And what ended up happening is that drama ensued. And this is what happens when you end up on Clean Talk, I suppose. I thought like the candle drama back in the day on YouTube was crazy. It's wild, the kind of content that just blows up and opens you to new worlds of content you just didn't know were there before.
I got a new profile thinking, oh, well, maybe this is a blessing in disguise. Maybe the hate won't follow me. Oh my God. You know, usually I don't let the negative comments get to me, but oh boy, are they getting to me. I really don't like it when you guys say that I'm ungrateful because you were not here. You did not hear me thank them 1,000,000 times over for doing what they have done. I don't owe you guys on the internet a thank you. So, Amy showed you a nice, beautiful, stripped down, clean house. But in reality, I got a lot of shit to put away and a lot of shit to do. I'm so grateful for what they have done and what they did, and they came, and Amy and Keeks and Nancy and Jose, they were amazing. The expectation and the reality were a little different. Maybe next time we need to explain better. Hi, good morning.
I just heard a fire call.
Yeah, that was a fire call, huh? And yes, I will be able to put this all back together eventually. And for somebody who does not clean and know how to clean after they left, and you know, this area is still a little jacked up, I don't know what to say. Keeks killed it in the car. Let me just tell you that. My car is amazing. I've been making the kids, this is a pain in the butt. I might have to just wash this, like wash it in the washer or the sink. But I am making the kids take out their trash as soon as we get out of the car, so it doesn't accumulate and get all gross and nasty again. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Also, Tanika killed it in this kitchen. She done cleared all the cupboards or the drawers over here and everything. She rocked it. All the girls rocked it. Jose rocked it on the floors. I am so thankful for them being here. I got a new profile thinking, oh, well, maybe this is a blessing in disguise. Maybe the hate won't follow me. Oh my God. I was wrong. We were all wrong. The hate is the first thing that followed me. So yeah. That's that. Also, to everybody bitching how, oh, they came here for free and you're still complaining. The money Amy has made off of her videos from my house, oh, it's a good couple $1,000s. I guarantee it. So take that with you want, what you will. Take that with what you will. I don't know what that means. I don't know. And if you stayed for this whole video, thank you very much. This is my first monetized video in the Creator Rewards program. Love me or hate me. Thanks for being a supporter.
Amanda MCG basically kind of took for granted this opportunity and was mad that they didn't put everything back in its place. The whole concept of putting something back in its place when you live in what you call organized chaos is crazy, because if there are, like under the bed, there were a bunch of clothes, boxes, things, those don't belong under the bed. How are they supposed to know where the organized place to put them is? Aside from that, the whole point of them being a cleaning crew is that they do exactly that. They're cleaning. They're not organizing. This isn't hoarder. This also is not extreme home makeover, right? So when you hire these cleaners, and I say hire loosely because they offer you their services for free, when they come, you cannot expect them to put your life in order, because realistically, nothing is where it should be in the first place, so they wouldn't know where to put it. But aside from that, it would be so time consuming for them to do that and basically have you follow them around and be like, hey, put that over there, when you can do that yourself anyway. And again, because they're doing it for free, this is not time they're getting paid for. Sure, they might make money off the TikTok, but this is not a service you are paying for. Their time that they're giving you is time that they are really giving you for free. Also because they didn't necessarily know how much they would make on TikTok. It's not a guaranteed amount of money by default. So the whole concept of complaining that things are not where they should be is a little bit crazy to me, and it does come off as ungrateful. The thing I don't understand about social media, and everyone has made mistakes here and there and said something out of turn on social media, sure, but some people really don't understand the concept of you don't have to share every single thing you think. Like, if you think that after they left, you still had so much stuff to put away and that was stressful to you, fair enough, but tell someone, tell a friend, tell your husband, tell anyone, but to put it online, that just shows that you really don't know how the internet works. And granted, people can say, oh, well, you're talking about her, so this still gives her some level of potentially money or views or whatever. And sure, but the negativity she's getting, I think, is actually getting to her. I don't think she predicted the toll that negativity takes on you when she decided to make these kind of snide, backhanded remarks. Anyway.
This is what I mean about not being able to find anything, and this is no hate to the ladies that came and cleaned for me. This is just the process of me explaining things after they leave. Let's just put that out there now. I've always had a bad habit of doing laundry, leaving it in the basket clean, and then digging for clean clothes out of the laundry basket. This is all my laundry. Now, this is a mix of dirty and clean laundry now. I don't know what's what. That stresses me out. I don't know what to do about that. Obviously, I need to go to the laundromat. I cannot do that today because I'm going to come back home after I drop my kids off at school, and I have about 2.5 hours. I'm going to try to put everything back on the shelf, but right now I need to find clothes for my children and sweaters because it's cold now. So I got to do that. And just to say, they are not organizers. They are cleaners. This is up to me now to be able to put things where I want it to go and to organize it. The problem is I don't know where any of my clothes are. Luckily, I realized I did do a load of laundry and this is all dry now, so we can find clothes in here.
Yeah, so this is another example where it's a self-defeating argument, because realistically, if she has these piles of things and she doesn't even know what's clean and what's not, you think people who don't know you or have anything to do with you are going to come into your house and magically know? And she's saying that this is stressing her out, and fair enough, though a lot of people in the comments were saying, okay, so this is stressing you out, but living in squalor wasn't? So you were fine with the state of your house, which was, in my opinion, like a high, like toxic waste levels, okay? So you're okay with that, but now the concept of having some dirty and clean laundry and not knowing which is which, that's really the stressor. Now, like the comments said, just wash everything and move on. And that's the thing that I think she's not really understanding here, is that these people came in to help her doing the base level, right? Because organizing is a lot easier once the house is clean. A big part of organizing that's time consuming and tiring is the fact that you need to clean things before putting things away. Much like laundry, you got to wash it, then put it away, right? If it's not clean, you can't get to the point of putting away. The house is now clean. Now you can get to the point of putting things away. So I don't know if she expected them to do a full-on every single thing in the house, but I think that that would be a very naive expectation considering the state of your house. Even if they wanted to guess where things went, they wouldn't be able to because stuff was all over the place. And again, that is not cleaning, that's organizing, that's a separate thing. Also, I'd assume that she checked the profile, like Amy's, of the people who, of even the team, if not just Amy's, and would have seen that actually what Amy does has nothing to do with specifically organizing and doing a home makeover. It's a clean. I don't know how this is so confusing.
Yesterday, we completed the cleaning at Amanda MCG's home, and it went beautifully. Before I got to Amanda's house, I let her know that we were not going to be able to complete the entire interior portion of her home or even touch the exterior portion. But Miss Keeks surprised us and did come through and spent an entire day on the van and made that baby look absolutely brand new. Considering this specific cleaning had been requested for many years on the internet, I already knew there was going to be controversy. Chose the team that I did because I knew those specific individuals not only compassionate enough to deal with Amanda's situation, but strong enough to deal with the whirlwind that the internet was potentially going to dump on us. I know I gave everyone a full training course of product knowledge when it comes to Zep products yesterday, but unfortunately, that company does not sell a product can magically clean people's negative attitudes. There were two main issues that people on TikTok had an issue with in regards to how I led this clean. First one was that I left piles of things in Amanda's living room for her to take care of after we left. This is something Amanda agreed to because it was her belongings. The piles were everything that she had decided to keep after I sifted through with her everything else that had accumulated in the living room. She is going to need time to sit there and find a home for each item within her house for that. That is not something I had time to dedicate to. And the second issue people had was I think some people expected that I was going to be delivering a brand new house to Amanda. Maybe if you guys help me tag HDTV, Hulu, or HBO, and I got my own TV show, I could potentially create a bigger dent in people's homes when I go to clean for them. But I am a restoration house cleaner. I clean the bones of people's homes. What I don't do is rip up carpet. I do not paint. I do not patch holes. I don't even change light bulbs. Thankfully, Amanda's husband, Mr. Amanda, does. Now, if you guys happen to have been a mod for me during my live or one of the thousands of people that helped keep positivity in my comment section, I genuinely want to thank you for that. On top of it, thank you for posting videos of the live and for clearing the air if you were watching in a video for other people to be able to see what really went on. Because, you know, people like to talk and spread lies. Anyways, I love all of you. Be kind, do something nice, and don't be an a-hole.
I do think it's worth stating that this is highlighting a very clear problem that we see on TikTok, but it goes beyond TikTok, right? Because my question is this: why would people watch Amanda MCG's content? And I think that people watch it the same way that people kind of watched Trisha Paytas or any other kind of train wreck on the internet. It's entertaining to a degree to see someone whose life is so different from yours in a messy way, right? That's why people follow certain vloggers who just always have some drama going on, because you enjoy not having drama in your life, but you enjoy watching the drama, much like why people watch reality TV. I think that's the type of consumption this is. Amanda MCG kind of has this shitty behavior, I think, because she knows that people watch her, and that gives her a sense of perhaps self-importance that is misplaced. It's very difficult for me to understand why this person has a following. I can understand an audience. I can't really super understand a following, right? And I think that this has made people a little bit just out of touch with reality, because the reality is there were people in the comments that were saying how much this cleaning job would have cost if they actually charged her for it. Some people were even saying that it would be at least $2,000 per room, which honestly, I don't know how it works per room and all that, but I could imagine it being quite a few $1,000s because of how in-depth the cleaning was. Like the concept of even wiping things down multiple times, vacuuming, sanitizing multiple times. That's all time consuming. That all uses a lot of product as well. So the concept of taking that so for granted that you are going to complain about them not organizing a house that you didn't even organize is surreal, but it also makes me think that you are so detached from the real world that this lack of gratitude is just what you think is a normal reaction. So this little asterisk of being like, don't be mean to the ladies, they did a great job, but it seems so out of turn because they could have easily just not offered you anything. They could have left you in that situation. And if they had left you in that situation, I don't know what the deal is with potential CPS. I've seen things here and there, and I'm not going to comment on all of that. But if CPS is coming and they saw your house in its active normal state versus right after it got cleaned, I think CPS would have a very different response, right? So the concept that they made your life significantly easier for free on their own time, and still you have to come back and say something publicly, no less, is crazy work.
This was in my husband's bedroom. As someone that has lived almost like Amanda MCG, I want to give my input on the situation that has occurred. So if you're not familiar, over the weekend, I think it was Thursday through Saturday, Amanda MCG had a team of 5 people come in and they helped clean her home. And when I say clean her home, I do mean top to bottom, side to side, front to back, the entire thing. These people busted their asses for 3 days straight, 6 hours a day, because they got there at 9 a.m. each day and they left at 3 a.m. Now that was because Amanda has children, and I think they were just kind of working off the school day type of schedule. And while I personally think they needed a lot more time, they have families and they have their own homes to get back to, their own homes to clean. They had clients to get back to. They had to rearrange their entire schedules in order to provide Amanda with this amazing opportunity. As they were there, 3 of them were going live during the entire thing, and they were trying to stay live so that everyone could watch in real time that they were actually doing what they said they were going to do. Now, here's the thing. I think that quite a few viewers were expecting a lot more to be done than what got done, and I quote that because a hell of a lot got done. It did. And for the ones that are saying the cleaner should have did more, they left her with a mess, now she's got all of this overwhelming stress to deal with, and yada, 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 all of that. That's not true. They busted their asses. Cleaning walls, scrubbing baseboards, scrubbing floors. No, they did not rip out carpets. That's not their job. It's not their job to rip out carpets. They were there to get the house back in a more livable condition. Because let's be honest, it was not livable, not really, with the way that it currently was. The bedrooms were the first focus, as they should have been, because I followed Amanda since 2020. Since her very first video of her and her little sister doing the TikTok dance trends, okay? So, like, she didn't start out cleaning. It was like dance trends. And in the beginning of me following her, every now and then she would do a video of cleaning the living room and her kitchen. Now, they lived in a different house at the time. That house, the walls were not filthy. They were all painted white, and they were white. When she cleaned the living room and the kitchen, it looked very nice at the time in that house. I personally think once they got this much larger house, they moved there, I believe the move-in was like 2021. Once they got that house, it's much larger. It is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. The living room is much larger, the kitchen's much larger than their previous home. I personally think that Amanda ended up in over her head with how to keep up with it. Do I think that she is struggling? Yes, I do. But I don't think that she's struggling because of depression or this, that, and the other. I think Amanda got so overwhelmed that she's in like freeze mode, where she can't force herself to really do a full day's worth of cleaning. What we normally see Amanda do is stick to cleaning the living room and the kitchen, and like her laundry areas sometimes, like it's been a while. I think I've seen her clean the toilets and work on the bathrooms a few, the hallway. It's like little things, but you don't see her really in the bedrooms too much. And I think she does that because those are all areas that when someone comes in, that's what they see. I know that because that's how I was about 5 years ago. I would always get spurts of energy. I would clean everything, but then by the time that I was done, I was so exhausted and overwhelmed with how much it was I was having to clean that I would sit down and I'd be like, okay, I'll come back to it tomorrow. And then when tomorrow came, either I had something to do or I just in general didn't get up because I could not force myself to get up. So I had a lot of highs and I had a lot of lows. And my lows were more than my highs. And just so people don't think that I'm lying about me knowing for sure what she's going through, this was in my husband's bedroom in our last house quite a few years ago. This I am extremely ashamed of. That is how we lived for many years. I'm ashamed of it. I'm embarrassed by it. I feel guilty because I couldn't understand why I couldn't make myself get up and do what I needed to do as a mother and as a wife. And I would try, and I would get so excited because I would get these bursts of energy, and I would get it done in my sense of done, not wiping walls and all of that, but absolutely everything else. Wiping everything else down, I would rearrange the rooms, I would do everything, okay? But at some point, something clicked. Either I needed professional help, or enough had to be enough. I chose enough was enough. Amanda's going to have to figure out what her problem is and decide if she's going to go seek help, which I highly recommend, because even to this day I still struggle. No, our house does not look nothing like that anymore. I've came a long ways, and I've changed over the years. It's been a long 5 years. And since Amanda's been on the same journey for 5 years, she's had plenty of time. She has. At some point, people have to quit coddling Amanda. People cannot continue to run into Amanda's house and do the cleaning for her, do the heavy lifting for her. Amanda and her husband are going to have to get to a point where they say, enough is a fucking enough. And we have to change this shit for our kids and ourselves. Because an entire room full of animal feces and all you do is just close the door and out of mind, that doesn't solve the problem, okay? It doesn't solve it. You have to pull up your grown-up underwear and get shit done. I'm already at 8.5 minutes, so I'm going to do a part 2. I have a lot of thoughts on this.
So there are a lot of people on the internet who are kind of, well, there are a lot of think pieces on the internet as usual, but there are a lot of people who are kind of relating to Amanda MCG and what she may or may not be going through, because I can't know that for sure. Regardless, like this content creator we just saw, that video kind of puts into context everything, right? But considering that if Amanda MCG is going through anything like this content creator, if there is such a significant struggle to do these kinds of deeper cleans, or let's say all house cleans and just focusing on a couple of rooms, you'd think that someone would be even more grateful that any type of work is done, let alone deep cleans or whatever. But even someone coming in and doing a spot clean for you is still something that helps you out in some way or another. So it's very odd. But the thing is, that's kind of funny, is that these content creators who are train wreck content creators, basically, who live in certain conditions that make them fun to watch in the sense of, oh my God, I wonder what bullshit is up this time. These content creators really do remind me of the 2016 big influencers that, you know, were famous on Vine and then went off to TikTok and then were on YouTube. And I'm not saying she's identical to the Paul brothers, but the sense of entitlement, lack of gratitude, the want to create drama out of nothing. This is the other side of that coin. So we had the hyper rich people who had half empty houses that were living in LA in the earlier YouTube days. And then now we have also this side of it. And it's crazy because it's kind of the same behavior in just different contexts. And it really goes to show you how being an influencer, if someone doesn't keep their feet on the ground, or if someone is in whatever way out of touch with reality, will get to anyone. So it's not just for the people in mansions, it's really just anyone who gathers a following, even a hate following potentially. And I think that that's a thing that is so disappointing, because realistically, this could have been a very wholesome thing. This could have been entirely wholesome. These people come in, they help you get your shit in order, you finish up the job, you get your things in order, and this can help you start a new and healthier trajectory, right? Ideally, it could have just been that. But because of this influencer mentality, there's this kind of need to turn it into an issue, to turn it into drama, to turn it into a 5-piece series about whatever the hell, and it just never had to be that. And as much as I am sometimes entertained by train wrecks also, not this type, but regardless, as much as I can see the entertainment value there, it's also like, it's very concerning as a concept, because it's almost like you need to explain empathy, consideration, gratitude to people. And these people are parents. A lot of these train wreck moms are parents, and that's what really alarms me more than anything, because you have someone who came to clean, got your children out of a dangerous and gross situation from a hygiene standpoint, and yet you still have the audacity to turn around and be like, well, now I might need to rewash some clothes because I don't know which pieces of my laundry are clean or not. I find that deeply despicable. I understand that it's a vulnerable thing to open up your house to people. I feel uncomfortable having people over, and my house is not a mess, so I get it. But it's also like, after a certain point, you just need to kind of bite the bullet as well. Anyway, you guys can let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons as always, and I'll catch you guys next time.